what's the likelihood that a Call of Duty Ghost 2 is the COD of 2025? And to be real with you guys, I got to tell you, I think it's unlikely, super unlikely. I would actually be shocked to my core if they announced a Call of Duty Ghost 2 this year. I think that we would probably be a few years away from a Call of Duty Ghost 2, just because this year, to be quite honest with you guys, I don't even think a Black Ops 7 or a Modern Warfare 4 should come out this year because of GTA 6. See, here's the thing. Call of Duty notoriously, typically, comes out October, November each year. We have a Take-Two title in the form of Borderlands 4 is going to be releasing to the world in September of this year. I believe it's September. Borderlands 4 is going to be a big game. I really do. Especially if it's really good, it's going to be big. And shortly after that, another Take-Two title from Rockstar is going to be coming out in the form of GTA 6. More than likely, unless it gets delayed, right? So if GTA 6 comes out in October, Call of Duty is going to want to have no parts of coming out after GTA 6. I mean, it would be a very terrible move on Activision's part, on Xbox's part, to release Call of Duty. I mean, it would be a straight ego move like what Vince Zampella did with putting Titanfall in between Call of Duty and Battlefield. That was like an asinine decision on their part to release Titanfall between COD and Battlefield. Made absolutely no sense. So if I'm Call of Duty, if I'm Activision, if I'm Xbox, I want to stay ahead of the storm, even ahead of Borderlands. And so I believe that this year they need to release Call of Duty 2025 in like August or maybe early September to stay ahead of Borderlands. You do not want to release in October, the same month of GTA 6, or November. You just don't want to do it. I would stay ahead of it, personally. Get everybody to play Call of Duty, and then they can all go over to GTA 6, see what the rage is. You just don't want everyone to be getting GTA 6, and then Call of Duty almost gets forgotten about if it comes out after. And that leads me to what the title should be. And I got to tell you guys, I've talked a lot of shit over the years about those jetpack games. But if you want people to play the next COD, I'm not saying that people wouldn't play Black Ops 7 or they wouldn't play a Modern Warfare 4, because they would, especially if it was really good. But a lot of people in the Call of Duty community may look at it and say, you know what, it's just another Modern Warfare. It's just another Black Ops. We're going to save our money for GTA 6, especially with GTA 6 being rumored to be like $100. We saw the Nintendo Switch 2 get announced, and they've already raised the prices of their games, that being like Super or whatever, Mario Kart World is now like $80. So you think that GTA 6 isn't going to be more than that? I would be shocked if it was the same price as Mario Kart World. So people are going to be looking at like where they spend their gaming dollars. So to me, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare 2 probably makes the most sense to me, because it was such a drastic change from what we had gotten with Call of Duty Ghosts and like just even years before that. What Call of Duty needs to do is they need to make a massive splash. What they could do is make a Modern Warfare 4 with jetpacks. And if they did that, or they added like a jetpack mode or something, yeah, maybe people would be, into that as well. But I just look at Modern Warfare and I say, dude, it's not a jetpack title. Same thing with Black Ops. When they brought Black Ops 3, I thought it was the worst of the jetpack games. I really did. I thought that it just felt like Titanfall. It didn't feel like COD to me. Period. And yes, I think that Infinite Warfare was better than Black Ops 3. I thought Advanced Warfare, though, was the best of the jetpack games. And that first Advanced Warfare sold very well. And I think a lot of people really enjoyed it for a period of time. And then, yeah, eventually we went back to the other games. Black Ops 3 comes out. I was not really into Black Ops 3 at all. Played it for a while, went back. Infinite Warfare, kind of the same thing. Played it for a while, went back to the older titles. But I'm just saying that they need to make a massive splash here in terms of like changing it up. You can't just bring out another Black Ops title or Modern Warfare title. I'm saying specifically this year, guys. If we didn't have GTA 6 coming out, they could probably just stay with the status quo, go between Modern Warfare, Black Ops every other year. Got a new Modern Warfare title, then a new Black Ops title. New Modern Warfare, new Black Ops. You could just go back and forth year over year over year because those are the two biggest sub-series of the overarching franchise that is Call of Duty. But I got to tell you, what I remember vividly, I went to a midnight launch at GameStop for Advanced Warfare. And when I was there, they had like a local tournament for Advanced Warfare while we were waiting in line to get our copy of the game at midnight. And the buzz around Advanced Warfare, there was a lot of buzz. There really was. A lot of people were really excited about the change that was happening. I believe that this is the year that if you want to make some changes, at least for, like I said, I've said this multiple times, guys. The jetpack era should have never been an era. It should have been a jetpack title, one title in the entire, Call of Duty franchise. They should have tried it. And they went back to boots on the ground, and then maybe some other time they bring out another jetpack game. It shouldn't have been back to back to back. You know what I mean? I feel like that was the biggest mistake that COD made, because I felt like when we got to Black Ops 3, that was the dark ages of COD. And a lot of people would say that even Infinite Warfare was even worse throughout Infinite Warfare. But if you would have just released Advanced Warfare as like a one-off title that has jetpacks, I mean, I don't think that, I think that would have been fine. They tried something different, and based on the numbers and what people thought, you could maybe, introduce it again at some other point. It was just the fact that they doubled down on it with Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, if Call of Duty wants to make a massive splash this year, I think it's got to be a jetpack title. Maybe it's not Advanced Warfare 2 or Infinite Warfare 2. It's like a completely new, name, right? Like you just call it like Call of Duty Warfare or something. Like, you know what I mean? You call it something different, or you just do like an Advanced Warfare 2. Because I highly doubt they would ever bring out an Infinite Warfare 2. And with Black Ops, I always felt, though, after the jetpack era, I always felt like, you know what, there's a lot of people who really do like jetpacks. Why don't you just add jetpack modes into the multiplayer? Or maybe a specific mode within, like zombies where you have jetpacks or, whatever. But I really felt like they should have had just like a mode that was like jetpacks only. And maybe they did this, guys, and I'm just not aware. But I just felt like each year, there was a pretty big audience for people who really enjoyed the jetpack era. I would tell you, especially people who loved Titanfall. They came over, played, Advanced Warfare. A lot of those people ended up like sticking with COD for that jetpack era because they loved the jetpacks. I had some friends that were really into Titanfall. They weren't making a new Titanfall game, like a Titanfall 3. And so, when the jetpack games came out, they were all in. They were super excited about, getting involved in another jetpack-esque type of, Titanfall-esque game. And Call of Duty copied, Titanfall without question. But nonetheless, I think they actually they perfected the formula of what they were trying to do with Titanfall. But nonetheless, I think this is the year, guys, because they've already done it. If you were to say, hey, Josh, if they had never made a jetpack title ever, and you said, hey, Josh, what would you think about Call of Duty introducing jetpacks this year to try to compete with GTA. I would probably still tell you, hey, dude, I think it's actually a pretty good idea because they haven't greenlit a Titanfall 3. There's nothing else like it. I think it might be a perfect time to introduce something like that, or at the very least, introduce it into some game modes within Call of Duty's multiplayer. Maybe have a mission in the campaign where you have a jetpack. Maybe have, certain game modes within zombies or whatever. And within the multiplayer that you can use jetpacks. I think it would be a great idea because then you're catering to, you have the main audience of Call of Duty that loves the boots on the ground. But there's a big audience of people that love those jetpack titles. And so, and once again, myself included, I really did. I loved Advanced Warfare for what it was. I just don't think that they should have, made multiple jetpack titles, back to back to back years. So I think Advanced Warfare 2 or a jetpack title, even though I've talked a lot of shit about some of these jetpack games over the course of time, I got to tell you, this year, where you're going up against a absolute monster in the form of GTA 6, you got to change it up. And I will tell you this, the other thing that some people are saying is that maybe Call of Duty is going to take a year off to work on whatever, like their next Modern Warfare title, and release that in 2026. I just can't see it happening. I think that Call of Duty, they realize that being like the developers and stuff, they realize like, dude, Call of Duty is still massive. And so we got to capitalize. And Xbox just purchased Activision not that long ago. They want to bang out, these Call of Duty titles year over year over year. And, because even in 2026, I think Gears of War E-Day is going to be coming out in the fall of that year. And that's another Xbox title. And obviously Call of Duty's way bigger than Gears, but man, dude, Gears of War's rumored to be going on to PlayStation, not just a console exclusive anymore on Xbox. So what I'm saying is no matter which year you look at it, there's always going to be competition. But I think that Call of Duty could do very well making a very compelling experience based around jetpacks. I would put all hands on deck, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Raven, Sledgehammer, all working on a jetpack title. Have Infinity Ward creating the campaign experience, have Treyarch doing the multiplayer, have, Sledgehammer and Raven working on Extinction Zombies crossover, which I think would be absolutely incredible. I just think if you have all hands on deck, instead of splitting up these studios so much, to really focus on this title, because it's like, we got to knock this thing out of the park. Xbox, purchased Activision, or that being Microsoft, they purchased Activision. You want to make sure that you knock these things out of the park and they just don't get overlooked by GTA 6, which is coming, a couple of months after or whatever, however they decide to do it. It's going to be really interesting, guys. But let me know what you all think, though, in the comment section down below. Do you think a Call of Duty Ghost 2 should be the thing that comes out this year? I do not believe it should. I don't think it will. But I do think that we need change here in 2025. Because of the elephant in the room, that being GTA 6. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below and let us know your thoughts.